Hey, it's Andy Brown from Exam Pro, and in this follow along, we're going to learn all about Elastic Beanstalk. Maybe not everything, but we're going to definitely know how to at least use the service. So, Elastic Beanstalk is a platform as a service, and what it does is it allows you to deploy web applications very easily. So, here I've made my way over to Elastic Beanstalk. We need an environment and an app, and then we set up our application. We have two tiers: a web server environment, a worker environment. Worker environment is great for long running workloads, performing background jobs and things like that. And then you have your web server, which is your web server. And you can have both, and it's generally recommended to do so. But anyway, what we'll do is create a new application. So let's say my app here. And there's some tags we can do, and then it will name based on the environment. Then we need to choose an environment name. So let's say my environment and just put a bunch of numbers in there. Hit the check availability, scroll on down, and we have two options: manage platform, custom platform. And I'm not sure why custom is blanked out, but it would allow you to, I think, use your own containers. So I'm a big fan of Ruby, so I'm going to drop down to Ruby. And here we have a bunch of different versions. And so 2.7 is pretty new, which is pretty good. And then there's the platform version, which is fine. And the great thing is it comes with a sample application. Now you could hit create environment, but you'd be missing out on a lot if you don't hit this configure more options. I don't know why they put it there. It's not a very good UI, but if you click here, you actually get to see everything possible. And so up here, we can have some presets where we can have a single instance. So this is where it's literally running a single EC2 instance. So it's very cost effective. You can have it with spot pricing, so you save money. There's high availability. So, if you want it set up with a load balancer and auto scaling group, it will scale very well, or you can do custom configuration. We scroll on down here. You can enable Amazon X-Ray, you can rotate out logs, you can do log streaming. There's a lot of stuff here. And basically, it's just like it sets up most for you, but you can pretty much configure what you want as well. If we had the load balancer set, if I go here, go to high availability, now we'll be able to change our load balancer options. You have different ways of deploying, so you can go here and then change it from all at once, rolling, immutable, traffic splitting, depends on what your use case is. We can set up a key pair to be able to log into the machine. There's a whole variety of things. You can connect your database as well, so it can create the database alongside with it, and then it can actually rotate out the keys so you don't have to worry about it, which is really nice. What I'm going to do is go to the top here and just choose a single instance because I want this to be very cost effective. We're going to go ahead and hit create environment. And so we are just going to wait for that to start up, and I'll see you back when it's done, okay? Okay, so it's been quite a while here, and it says a few minutes. So if it does do this, what you can do is just give it a hard refresh. I have a feeling that it's already done. Is it done? Yeah, it's already done. So here it says on September 2020, Elastic Beanstalk introduced, etc. Default. I don't care. But anyway, so this application, I guess it's in a pending state. I'm not sure why. Let's go take a look here. Causes, instance has not sent any data since launch. None of the instances are sending data. So that's kind of interesting because I shouldn't have any problems, you know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is just reboot this machine and see if that fixes the issue there. But usually it's not that difficult because it's the sample application. It's not up to me as to how to fix this. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure, but what we'll do is we will let the machine reboot and see if that makes any difference, okay? All right, so after rebooting that machine, now it looks like the server's healthy, so it's not all that bad, right? If you do run into issues, that is something that you can do. And so let's go see if this is actually working. So at the top here, we have a link, and so I can just right-click here. It says, congratulations, your first AWS Elastic Beanstalk Ruby application is now running. So it's all in good shape. There's a lot of stuff that's going on here in Elastic Beanstalk that we can do. We can go back to our configuration and change any of our options here. So there's a lot of stuff, as you can see. We get logging. So click the request log. So if we click on this and say last 100 lines, we should be able to get logging data. We have to actually download it. I wish it was kind of in line. But here you can kind of see what's going on. So we have SD out, access logs, error logs, Puma logs, Elastic Beanstalk engine, so you could use that to debug. Very common to take that over to support if you do have issues. For health, it monitors the health of the instances, which is great. Then we have some monitoring data here, so it gives you like a built dashboard. So that's kind of nice. You can set up alarms. You have not defined any alarms. You can add them via the monitoring dashboard. So I guess you'd have to, whoop, you'd have to somehow add them. I don't think I've ever added alarms for Elastic Beanstalk, but it's nice to know that they have them. You can set up schedules for managed events. Then this is event data. So it's just kind of telling you, it's kind of like logs. It just tells you of things that have changed. So there's stuff like that. What I'm looking for is to see how I can download the existing application, because there's a version uploaded here. Oh, the source is over here. Okay. So I think it's probably over here, the one that's running. So that's it. If it was easy to find, what I probably would do is just modify it and, oh, yeah, it's over here. So if we go here and download the zip, I wonder if it'd be even worth playing with this. So I'm just going to see if we can go over to Cloud9 and give this a go quickly. So if we go over and launch a Cloud9 environment, maybe we can tweak it and upload a revised version. So we'll go say create new, we'll say EB environment for Elastic Beanstalk. We'll set it all to defaults. That's all fine. It's all within the free tier. We'll create that environment. What I'm going to do is just take this Ruby zip file and move it to my desktop. And as that is loading, we'll give it a moment here. I'm just going to go back. And I was just curious, does it let you download it directly from here? No. So the only thing is that, if you download that application, Elastic Beanstalk usually has a configuration file with it. And so I don't know if they would have given that to us. But if they did, that would be really great. But we just have to wait for that to launch there as well. I guess you can save configurations and roll back on those as well. But we will just wait a moment here. While it's going, I might just peek inside of this file to see what it is this zip contains. So just going to go to my desktop here, open up that zip. So it looks pretty simple. It doesn't even look like a Rails app. It looks like maybe it's a Sinatra app. I thought before that it would have deployed a Ruby on Rails application, but maybe they keep it really simple. I don't see, usually it's like YAML files they use for configuration. I don't see that there. So it might be that the default settings will work fine. There's a config.ru and stuff like that, but once Cloud9 is up here, we will upload this and see what we can do with it, okay? So there we go. Cloud9 is ready to go. And so if we right-click here, right-click here, we should be able to upload a file. If not, we can go up here to the top. Or it's here or there. Where is the upload? I've uploaded things in here, so I absolutely know we can. I just got to find it. Is that the upload? Upload files, Cloud9. Oh boy, that's not helpful. That's not helpful at all. So let me just click around a little bit here. I mean, worst case, I can always just bring it in via a curl. Oh, upload local files. There it is. I was just not being patient. Okay, so we'll drag that on in there. And we will... Did it upload? Yep, it's right there. Okay, great. And so we need to unzip it. So what I'll do is just drag this on up here. I'll do an ls, and we'll say unzip ruby.zip. And so that unzipped the contents there. I think the README was part of Cloud9, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that out. Not that it's going to hurt anything. And so now what we can do, we'll delete the original zip there. And let's see if we can make a change here. So I'm just going to open it up, see what it is. So it's running Sinatra, so that's pretty clear there. We have a proc file to say how it runs. We have a worker sample, so that just tells how the requests go. You don't need to know any of this. I'm just kind of clicking through it because I know Ruby very well. We have a cron YAML file, so that could be something that gets loaded in here. So I think basically a Sinatra app probably just works off the bat here, but if we want to make a change, we probably just make a change over to here. So I'll go down here, and this is your second AWS Elastic Beanstalk application. So the next thing we need to do is actually zip the contents here. I don't know if it would let us zip it within here, but I'll have to look like zip the contents of a directory. Linux. Just goes to show Google is everything. So the easiest way to zip a folder, zip everything in the current directory, Linux. Okay, that's easy. So we'll go back over here and we will type in zip, and it wants -r for recursive, which makes sense. And then the name of the zip. So ruby2.zip, and we'll do period. Zip warning found is who is zip? Oh, yum install zip. Maybe we have to install zip, but maybe it's not installed. Sudo yum install zip. Since it's Amazon Linux 2, it uses yum. And so package already installed. So I'm going to type zip again. So zip is there now. Great. Oops. Don't need to install it twice. Zip warning, ruby2 zip not found or empty. Okay, so install zip and use zip -r. You can use the flag to best compensate. So if that's not working, what I'm going to do is just go up a directory. Why is it saying not found or empty? Maybe I need to use... Okay, so I think the problem was I was using the wrong flag, so I put F instead of R. I don't know why I did that. So I probably should have done this. Okay, and so that should have copied all the contents of that file. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, whoops, make sure I have that selected and download that file. And once I have downloaded that file, I'm going to just open the contents to make sure it is what I expect it to be. So we're going to open that up and whoops, get out of here, WinRAR. And it looks like everything I want. So what I'm going to do is go back over to here. I'm going to make sure I have my Ruby 2 on my desktop. And we're going to see if we can upload another version here. So upload and deploy, choose the file. We're going to go all the way to my desktop here, and we're going to choose Ruby 2. And like Ruby 2 will be the version name, or we'll just say 2. And we'll deploy, and we'll see if that works. Okay, but there are like Elastic Beanstalk configuration files, like YAML files that can sit in the root directory, and so generally you're used to seeing them there. But you know, I imagine that AWS probably engineered these examples so that it uses all the default settings. But once this is deployed, I'll see you back here in a moment. Okay. After a short little wait, it looks like it has deployed. So what I'm going to do is just close my other tabs here and open this up and see if it's worked. It says your second AWS Elastic Beanstalk Ruby application. So we were successful deploying that out, which is really great. So what we can do now is just close that tab there. And since we have that Cloud9 environment, it will shut down on its own. But, you know, just for your benefit, I think that we should shut it off right now. So go ahead and delete that. I'm going to go back over to Elastic Beanstalk here. And I just want to destroy all of it. So we'll see if we can just do that from here. Terminate the application. Enter the name. So I think we probably have to enter that in there. And so I think that, oh, a problem occurred, rate exceeded. What? That's AWS for you. So it's not a big deal. I would just go and check it again. And maybe what we'll do is just delete the application first. Okay, so that one is possibly deleting. Let's go in here. Is anything changing? Can't even tell. We'll go ahead. Oh, can't take that one out. Delete application again. If it takes you a couple times, it's not a big deal. it's AWS for you, so there's a lot of moving parts. So it looks like it is terminating the instance, and so we just have to wait for that to complete. Once that is done, we might have to just tear down the environment. So I'll see you back here when it has finished tearing this down, okay? All right, and so after a short little wait here, I think it's been destroyed. We'll just double check by going to the applications, going to the environments. Yeah, and it's all gone. Probably because I initially deleted that environment and then took the application with it. So I probably didn't have to delete the app separately. Yeah, so there you go. And just make sure your Cloud9 environment's gone and you are A-okay. There'll probably be some like lingering S3 buckets. So if you do want to get rid of those, you can. It's not going to hurt anything having those around. But they do tend to stack up after a while, which is kind of annoying. So if you don't like them, you can just empty them out, as I am doing here. Whoops. Oh, just permanently delete. Copy that text there. We can go back to here and then just go take out that bucket. Let's delete that there. Oh, if you get this is kind of annoying, but Elastic Beanstalk likes to put in an IAM permission or policy in here. So if you go down here, there's a bucket policy. You just have to delete it out. It prevents it from being deleted. And we'll go back over here, and then we will delete it. Okay. And yeah, there we go. That's it.